So I'm really intrigued and curious, and I would imagine our audience is too. So you're in this, let's call it an executive position. I'm sure when you started, you felt like maybe a little bit of a nobody number cruncher. But let's not make light of the fast forward 20 years later. You're, I assume, one of the leaders of a fairly significant company. Maybe not in relative to New York City, but definitely in relative to the laundromat industry.
Sure.
What made you decide to? It sounds like you decided you maybe wanted to poke around a little bit at the idea of running a laundromat. What was intriguing about that to you? Was it being a numbers guy? You had just seen thousands of deals and you understood the ROI associated with it? Was it just a numerical thing, or what was the pull in that direction?
I was intrigued by the business. Not the numbers were intriguing. I mean, I did see thousands of financial statements and projections. I had been in so many laundromats all over the country. And I really loved the fact that the return was a very, very nice return, especially relative to any of the other industries that we served and that we looked at. So number one, obviously the return looked great. I loved the fact that there was very limited inventory. There's no spoilage. There's no real loss that you have to deal with. The labor is, there is labor, but it's a less of a labor burden than most other businesses, and the fact that it seemed like a very simple business to run. And from my experience dealing with customers going to stores, there were only a few things that you needed to do to be successful. And that was keep the machines operating, keep the store clean, and provide some good service depending on what your amenities that you offer. And it didn't seem that complicated. And I loved the fact that this predates the pandemic, but we really talked about that it was recession proof. And we had been through from 1999 through 2020, a few recessions. We had some ups and downs in the economy, and we never had a significant spike in losses or in delinquency, regardless of what the economy was doing. And I love the fact that it was recession proof. Now we know, obviously, it's not just recession proof, it's pandemic proof. So even more important that we've learned in the last couple of years. So, I was interested from really from an investment standpoint and from having an ease of operation. And the other thing that I really intrigued me was I looked at the operators that we had dealt with over the years, and I said, these guys are not geniuses. None of them are PhD candidates. They're not going to, they don't have their MBA. I think we can do this. And so that's when my wife and I started to really get serious into discussing it.